The MCU has come back to the mainstream via their new Disney Plus shows. WandaVision has come and gone with a somewhat mixed, but still overall positive reception, and now we're on to Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Many people are enjoying these shows and are eagerly awaiting the Black Widow film. While I'm happy the MCU's back, I'm more interested in the distant future, mainly a family comprised of 4 members who have a tendency to be fantastic. Yeah, you're right, I'm talking about the Fantastic Four. Also, if you wouldn't mind, take a second to click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. That would be amazing. But anyway, yeah, I'm kinda stoked on the Fantastic Four right now. I say that while also having a sick feeling in the pit of my stomach. Fox failed to bring this group to life a plethora of times. While the MCU has been better, I still am worried about Marvel's first family. The group is inherently difficult to write for, and especially to bring to the big screen. I think there are definitely some fun ideas like John Krasinski and his wife Emily Blunt playing Reed Richards and Sue Storm, but I think they may only be the right choice for certain situations. If Marvel wants to do an old school classic Fantastic Four, then yeah, use the Krasinskis, they're amazing. That said, as the title of this video suggests, I have a different idea. I think it could be a really cool and different idea if they adapted the Ultimate Comics version of the first family for the MCU. If you're unfamiliar with the Ultimate Universe, it was a spin-off universe in the early 2000s that let writers reimagine many Marvel characters into a more modern light. Feel free to leave a comment if you'd like me to do a video on the Ultimate Universe in the future. But anyway, some classic MCU characters like Spider-Man, Nick Fury, and others have all been heavily influenced by the Ultimate Universe already, so I think it could be natural for the Fantastic Four to follow suit. That said, the Ultimate Fantastic Four is definitely different from their classic 616 interpretation. They're younger, more inexperienced in this universe, and Reed really struggles to find confidence while Sue is more at the forefront of the team. Johnny Storm is best buds with Spider-Man and Iceman, and Ben Grimm is just a younger version of what you'd expect. The team is originally brought to the Baxter Building in order to be part of a government program that brings in child geniuses and gives them the best training and resources to maximize their potential. Obviously, Sue and Reed are part of this program, along with another student, Victor Von Dame. Or Dam, I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name. It's spelled D-A-M-M-E. It's Dr. Doom, everyone. But anyway, Victor messed with one of Reed's experiments, and it ended up with the 5 of them being transported to various places around the globe and getting their various superpowers and mutations. As time went on, the team battled many villains as the Fantastic Four, and they discovered many amazing things. They're the classic team that goes on adventures, has fights with aliens, goes into interdimensional portals, they do all the fun Fantastic Four things. But this all came to a head when Sue Storm rejected Reed's proposal of marriage. This effectively broke up the team as well as their relationship, and effectively ended the Ultimate Fantastic Four. But you may say, wait, AGS, why would you want a version of the Fantastic Four that disbands? That's kind of a lame story, right? Well, my friends, that's not the end in this saga. Eventually, Reed Richards' house is bombed and he's presumed dead. This leads to a crazy series of events in the comics where it was a big crossover between all the Ultimate characters. They discover that there's an Ultimate enemy that's out to get everyone in the universe. They discover that it's none other than Reed Richards himself. This Ultimate version of Reed Richards has changed his mind after Sue broke his heart. He disowns her and the team and decides that life just isn't so simple as good and evil. He wants to make it perfect and better and thinks he is smarter than everyone else and can basically take over the world and make it better in his image. To further show how far he fell, he even savagely beats Sue Storm almost to death until Johnny Storm separates them and burns Reed Richards' face, disfiguring him. This all continues until Reed decides to reassemble the Infinity Gauntlet and gain this world domination. With this new lease on life, Reed has a new name, the Maker. I know, that's a lot to process, that's pretty far out there. But trust me, it's actually kinda awesome. The Maker is a really cool villain. He's kinda like the Kang the Conqueror of the Ultimate Universe, but it's Reed Richards. He was such an interesting character that even after the writers of Marvel destroyed the Ultimate Universe, they actually let the Maker escape and survive in the main Marvel continuity now. So he's one of the few characters along with Miles Morales to actually survive the Ultimate Universe's destruction. That said, many people may not quite get what he brings to the table in the comics, and that's kind of fair, but I think he could really bring something amazing to the MCU. Just think, a Disney Plus series or a trilogy of movies building up the Fantastic Four as awesome heroes, but eventually their leader turns on the entire MCU and becomes the most dangerous threat to humanity. This is just kind of a really different idea for Marvel. We haven't seen that many heroes in the MCU fall yet. For the most part, there's bad guys turning good, but there's no good guys truly turning bad. That said, let me make an important distinction for this. In order for this to work, it can't be a single movie where Reed turns evil. That's going to come across as, oh look, Reed was secretly evil all along, he was really the bad guy. Instead, it needs to be a long, drawn-out process. We need to see Reed as an integral part of the MCU, and maybe even the Avengers. Let's see him team up with the X-Men, Spider-Man, Captain America, and others, and really buy him as a hero. Speaking of Captain America, I think that's how they should let us view Reed Richards, as this awesome genius Boy Scout who's basically the best of Tony Stark and Captain America. If they set him up like that, but then allow him to slowly and suddenly fall from grace, it could be a chilling and unsettling moment that could redefine the MCU. At this point, while I love the series, the MCU is really on the verge of becoming stale. It has a formula that works and they're heavily relying on it right now. I think the MCU needs some shakeups that can really help keep the series fresh and surprising to fans. This would be a change that could be an amazing setup for a future arc in the MCU. Imagine, they're setting up the next Thanos-like villain for an entire phase of the MCU, and we're so scared and stoked to see him. But all along, Reed Richards is really pulling the strings. That could be a crazy mindfuck that could really change the landscape of the MCU. While I mentioned earlier that a faithful rendition of the Ultimate Fantastic Four would require younger actors, just imagine for a minute that Marvel manages to combine the Ultimate storyline with the older classic team of the Fantastic Four. That would mean, if they do it right, we could potentially get John Krasinski being the main antagonist for a period of time. And after all that, after him being the new Tony Stark, the new Captain America, he betrays all of the heroes in the MCU and is now the new Thanos. I don't know, maybe you guys hate that idea, but I think something like that is just the shakeup Marvel needs for their cinematic universe. I Am Iron Man wasn't an easy decision. It was super hard to kill off your franchise star, but come on, it was the right call. It led to one of the most melancholy, but yet satisfying character arcs that I've ever seen. We may all love this choice now and think it was a no-brainer, but years ago, I think it would have been a tough sell to pitch killing off Iron Man. I think turning Reed Richards evil is a similarly difficult pitch now, but I think it could lead to the next crazy I Am Iron Man type moment for the MCU. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you guys wouldn't mind, I'd love it if you could leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, comment on any topics you want me to cover in my next videos. But anyway, thanks for watching, and don't forget to stay frosty.